20-ounce drink for $3 more. Checkers Mix and Match deal. Pick any two for $4. Get Checkers delivered through our rewards app.
It's the summer celebration at Milton Rubin Toyota. Lease a new 2022 Camry SE for $219 a month. Catch the summer celebration at Milton Rubin Toyota.
Closed captioning for News 12 is brought to you by Kenneth Nugent. From the station that's on your side, News 12, first at 5, continues.
A mother in Alaska loses her 22-year-old son to an overdose.
Fentanyl is a different animal.
Now she's pushing for a law that will remember his life while saving other lives.
Plus, a packed race narrowed down 10 minutes. 2 different drownings claimed the lives of 2 people in less than 24 hours.
A 4-year-old boy in Burke County and a 49-year-old man in Augusta. Our Wrdw has been following up on both of these tragic cases, working to learn exactly what happened. He joins us now in our newsroom.
So, Will, we still have a lot of questions about these cases, but what have you learned?
Yeah, you're exactly right. Well, we have a lot more questions than answers at this point, but we're still working to find out more information on both of these cases. We have reached out to the Burke County Sheriff's Office for the incident report on the 4-year-old, but they say they won't have that ready today. That will hopefully give us more details and explain what exactly happened. Here's what we do know. Yesterday, the Burke County Sheriff's Office responded to a potential drowning call at a home on Deer Run Road. The Sheriff's Office says they found a 4-year-old boy unresponsive in the pool. He was rushed to the hospital where he later passed away. We've asked the Sheriff's Office and the coroner for the little boy's name, and they have not released that information yet or where the home was. In Augusta, 49-year-old Anthony Mack passed away yesterday after being pulled from a pool at an Augusta apartment complex on Goshen Road on Saturday. We're still waiting for that incident report and more details in that case as well. Now we're going to continue to dig deeper for more information as we're following both of these cases, and we'll update you as we learn more there.
All right, thanks for that, Will. The Richmond County Sheriff's Office says they have now made a second arrest in the deadly downtown shooting from over the weekend. They tell us the Savannah Southeast Fugitive Task Force found and arrested DeAndre Tandy in North Augusta yesterday. They say tonight he's being held in Aiken. Yesterday, we learned another suspect, Keon Smiley, was arrested and charged with murder for the death of Logan Ederle. All of this happened early Sunday morning on 10th and Broad Streets. Reports show Smiley and another suspect got into a fight with Ederle. The reports say Smiley was not the one who fired the gun. President.
There is a new push in Washington to prevent more Americans from dying of fentanyl overdoses.
Alaskans are dying at the highest rate in our country, and an Alaska mother who lost her son in October is trying to prevent others from suffering that same fate.
Peter Zappa met with her in Washington about some new legislation written in her son's name.
Sandy Snodgrass is telling me about her son, Bruce.
He loved Alaska. He loved the outdoors.
She wants everyone to see his face. The face of a normal kid from Alaska who loved fishing and the mountains. Dead at 22 because of fentanyl.
Fentanyl is a different animal.
Sandy tells me her son struggled with addiction, but was on the road to recovery. She expected a relapse to set back his progress, not kill him.
The fentanyl poisoning prevented him from being able to reach his goal of long-term recovery.
According to the CDC, over 71,000 Americans died from the synthetic opioid in 2021. Alaska had the largest percentage increase of any state in overdose deaths last year. Snodgrass believes not enough people realize fentanyl can be found in many different drugs, and it only takes a pencil tip's worth to kill. Alaska Senator Lisa Murkowski introduced Bruce's Law. She says to try to tackle one of the root causes of these fentanyl deaths, a lack of awareness.
We've got to bring about better awareness so that we can cut this off.
Murkowski's bill would charge the Department of Health and Human Services with launching awareness campaigns around the country, focusing on young people and hoping to minimize the impact of fentanyl-compromised drugs.
You should assume that fentanyl could be included in every one of those, and you should assume that you could die from it.
The legislation bearing her son's name will not bring Bruce back to Sandy. But should this bipartisan bill pass into law, it's a legacy Sandy hopes can keep other sons and daughters in their mother's arms.
Maybe people will see that and say, oh, that could be my son.
The timeline for a vote on the bill in the Senate is currently unknown. In Washington, I'm Peter Zampa.
Locally, we've been following a first-of-its-kind murder case in Columbia County. Colin McGill is charged with murder and accused of selling Alex King pills laced with a deadly dose of fentanyl. King died after taking the drug 2 years ago. But back in February, a grand jury indicted McGill, prompting the Columbia County District Attorney to call a news conference, calling this a powerful message to drug dealers. Now, King's family tells us they've learned the DA offered a plea deal for a lesser charge of distributing fentanyl. His stepfather tells me McGill took it. It could mean anywhere from 5 to 30 years in prison. We'll keep you posted.
Dogs in the shelter waiting for adoption, but that does not mean the shelter can't feel like home, too. We're going to show you how ahead when First at 5 continues.
Well, feel like temperatures have been over 110 for many spots this afternoon, but now we are tracking some rain relief on Doppler Max radar. Give you an update there just after the break. For that rain relief. Storm chances not zero the next few days, but a little bit lower, mainly late into the day Thursday and Friday. Luckily for Father's Day weekend, beautiful weather on tap, especially by Sunday.
Riley, thanks. After waiting almost a whole year, the SPCA Albrecht Center opening up a new area for their dogs to enjoy.
It's pretty cool. Our own Will Volk tells us more about this puppy play place.
Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out?
The SPCA Albrecht Center.
Let the dogs be dogs. Let them get out. Our volunteers can come out here and just let them run loose. And we can also do training out here.
Barbara Nelson helps run the shelter where this new play area is ready.
We're here to shelter dogs and cats, of course, and small animals, and take care of their physical well-being. But honestly, you have to take care of their mental well-being too.
The hope is seeing the dogs in this environment will make them more adoptable. They have agility equipment, benches, a gazebo, and lots of grass.
It's a natural atmosphere. It's not an artificial sort of, concrete floor kennel atmosphere.
After almost a year, she's excited. They have a new place to let the dogs out.
They really, really need to get out of the building, out here in the outdoors, and just let them be dogs.
In Aiken, Will Volk, on your side.
And they raised about $50,000 to build this new play area, but what a great idea.
I know. I actually need that in my backyard.
Yeah.
I think all of us who have dogs are thinking, wait a second, that'd be cool in the
A
backyard.
dog-proof backyard landscape, right? But that is good. It gets them out in an environment where they're having a good time.
They're having a good time, and of course, people can see how they are in a backyard. So, yay, good for everyone. Summer is not kind to phones, don't you know it? In fact, it can be very cruel. Coming up, some do's and absolute don'ts to protect your phone from the heat.
The live.
Has a great turnaround, and they're ready to start building trailers for you at any moment.
So come in today. Southland Paper and Chemical, 1212 New Savannah Road in Augusta.
Well, we are certainly in a heat wave with temperatures in the triple digits. The heat and humidity, that can affect one of your more expensive possessions.
Oh, it's happened to all of us, right? Your phone can be permanently damaged if it gets too hot, and in this weather, that's easy to do. Jamie Tucker takes a look at some of the do's and don'ts when it comes to heat and your phone.
Yeah, don't be surprised if your smartphone suddenly breaks into cruel summer from Bananarama. Nothing damages a smartphone as much as heat and water.
Like if you forget it in the car, it doesn't take long before heat damages the phone permanently. I left this iPhone in the car for about 15 minutes and came back to this screen. The phone, too hot to use. So what do? Better yet, what should you not do? First, get it out of the heat, of course. Bring it inside and set it aside. Don't put it on charge. Apple warns that will cause it to heat up even more. Remove the case and put it someplace away from a window and let it reach room temperature. When it does turn back on, turn it off for an hour or so. How hot is too hot? Apple says the operating temperature for devices is between 32 and 95 degrees. So just using the phone outside for a long period of time can permanently damage the battery. If you're going to be outside for a while, turn off notifications and location services. Wait to post photos or play games. Keep it away from direct sunlight. Even if you've got the AC on in your car, don't let it sit on the dash or the car seat. Phones are water resistant, but the water splash from the pool can also damage the phone if water gets inside. If a drop passes through the speaker, there is a quick trick to eject it. It's a shortcut named Water Eject. You'll need to add it by going to Shortcuts and searching for Water Eject. Add it to your shortcuts, and if your phone gets wet, hey Siri, Water Eject. Follow the prompts and the speakers will play a tone that's strong enough to eject any drops.
It is similar to how the Apple Watch ejects water, and it works. Let's what the tech. I'm Jamie Tucker.
Water Eject. That's what I learned today coming to work. The rules are the same for Androids. There's no shortcut to eject water from the speakers like the iPhone.
Crazy. For that, you can visit the website fixmyspeakers.com to play a similar tone.
Yeah, it happens in a hurry. You can be out in the sun and you got to really watch out.
It might be unusual to find artwork inside a sheriff's office, but at the Chatham County Sheriff's Office in Savannah, their artwork on the wall has a much deeper meaning.
The Chatham County Sheriff's Office highlighting one of their programs they have for inmates at that jail. Artwork painted by the inmates hanging right there in the lobby, and some of it is really unbelievable.
I'm not an artist, but from what I saw the first time before we went to the Jetson Center, I thought some of them was Leonardo da Vinci.
How about that? That's pretty high praise. This program is possible through the Sheriff's partnership with the Jepson Center Museum in Savannah. The program encourages the inmates to try new things. One of more than a dozen programs offered to inmates there in the Chatham County Jail. But there's some artists in residence right there.
Yes, and art can have healing properties.
Sure.
It really can.
Maybe a new career for somebody.
Yeah. The Von Taylor Championship returns to Mount Vintage this week. The annual tournament back in June after being held in October for the last 2 years.
It's a great venue there. Sports director Nick Proto in our studio now with the latest from the tournament, including a local face near the top of that leaderboard.
Well, I, for one, enjoyed the October tournaments. It was about 30 degrees cooler out on the course. That scorching heat played a factor today. Not very many low scores out there at Mount Vintage. After keeping a clean scorecard in round one, Augusta's own Hamilton Coleman had what he described as his weirdest nine ever today on the back nine. He finished the back nine with 3 birdies, 2 pars, 3 bogeys, and a triple for a 3 over 39. He dropped a couple shots on the leaderboard, but is still well within striking distance going into the final round. Coleman, you may remember that name. He was one of 3 local kids in the national final for the drive, chip, and putt competition back in April. He's currently sitting in the tie for 5th with 18 holes to play. He's one of the youngest players in this field, won't graduate high school until 2026. He's already had quite the busy summer between the drive, chip, and putt national final and now this. Then later this week, he's headed to Alabama for the Future Masters tournament. So another example of great golf coming from a local kid. And coming up on News 12 at 6 o'clock, I catch up with Hamilton about what a crazy summer he's had already. Plus, we'll hear from Vaughn Taylor about the tournament and the future of golf.
All right, looking forward to hearing about that, Nick. Heading into the weekend, we finally dry out, and it's going to be finally a little less humid for us, especially on Father's Day Sunday. Having a look at some storms we're tracking on radar just after the break.
It's the
Humidity staying mostly dry. How about this? Morning lows back down into the 60s, waking up Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Unfortunately, that relief is not going to last too long for us. Tuesday into Wednesday, back near 100.
Riley, thanks. With national gas price averages hitting record highs, we're taking a look at how you might be able to save a little money. That's ahead after a short break when News 12 at 6 o'clock continues.